Hey everyone, John Henry here, Slingshot Futures Trading Group. Welcome back. Hopefully you had a great trading day today and had a fun ride while the market was jumping all over the place. Tons of volatility today. What I wanted to take a moment to talk about today was what I like calling VVPs, or volume void pockets. What is a volume void pocket? So a volume void pocket comes from, well, as the name would kind of allude to assume, it comes from a void in volume. It's where you have a very large amount of volume that's being built up and then it just completely dies out of nowhere. Now you do need to look at the market profile to see this, but what you're looking for are situations where it's not the highs and lows. The volume's always high, or is always low at the extreme. That's kind of expected. But in the middle of the day, and this is typically on where a market is breaking out of, that volume void, that area right there, is a zone of interest because markets do not like having voids in volume like that. The job of a market is to fill orders. And when there's a gap in orders being filled, it's got some unfinished business to do, and they like coming back and filling in those areas, those void gaps. And you can track those areas. They're very interesting to keep an eye on. And a lot of times the market will flush through them a little bit. So don't look at them exactly like a level, but more as a general area where the market is likely to find support around. Because here is a really good example. We have a big volume void pocket. It's very obvious that there's just no volume there, completely died. And when the market finally came back the next day, it pushed down into that support area and rejected out. And that's more of a swing long type scenario where buyers are in and holding on for the better part of the day, waiting for it to rotate all the way up. And there are several other ones along the way too that you can keep your eyes on. You can look at it intraday while it's forming. You can use the ones that are kind of forming during that day, but remember, this volume profile isn't solidified, right? It isn't set in stone yet because the day is still moving. So typically the volume void pockets that you want to look for are the ones before, and it's a major drastic drop off in volume, and you're excluding the top and the bottom because they're just it's obvious that at the low of the day there probably wasn't a whole lot of volume, but in the middle of the day when the volume just tanks and drops off, those become very large areas of interest for the market to come back to. And here you can see, I mean, there's another one right there where the market just dropped off a cliff when it comes into volume. When the market comes back to that zone, it finds a lot of support. It's finishing that business, and then it maintains its move right back up again. So definitely something useful and interesting to keep an eye on. For full reference, I'm looking at a 15-minute chart using the order profile or order flow volume market profile indicators from NinjaTrader, or whatever these things are called. Hang on a second. The order flow volume profile. There we go. And if you need any of the settings that I'm using, these are the settings that I'm using. If you need to pause it or take a screenshot or whatever, they're all right there for you. But definitely interesting, definitely something to take a look at in zones that I am frequently always looking for. It's just they don't set up very often, but when they do, man, they can give you some really, really powerful areas of interest. Hopefully you found it useful, interesting, entertaining. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, jhb@ssftg.com. And don't forget, favorite, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And in the comments section, if there's a video topic that you want me to cover for you, make sure to pop it in there. I see all the comments in there, and then that might just end up being the next video. Aside from that, though, I hope you had a great day of trading, and we will see you all in the next one. Thanks.